Episode 203, Mrs. Robinson, Do You Want to Starve Me? This year was colder than normal. Wearing a beautiful beige coat, Serena was learning how to make pie from the house help Emma. The next day was New Year's Eve, and she wanted the whole family to celebrate together. Nola also came to help, and while teaching her how to bake, she even told her about what precaution to take. Serena was listening carefully, and there was a very good rapport. Travis Green had just come back from London, and he immediately came to the old house to visit. Hearing that her father was back, Serena happily ran to the living room. Seeing him and Jake sitting together, she felt warm and called out to her father. "Dad!" Hearing that, Travis's heart was melting. He waved at her. "My dear sunshine, Dad brought you a gift." She was even more surprised. She quickly walked up and sat next to him, looking at him taking out a wrapped gift happily. "Thank you, Daddy." As grown-up as she was, this was the first time for her to get something from her dad. Holding it full of pleasure, she smiled brightly. Feeling slightly jealous, Jake could not say anything, seeing how happy Serena was. He asked quietly, "Aren't you going to open it up and see what Father's song has got you?" Serena would not let go of the gift and said, "I will open it up tonight." Travis chuckled and ruffled her hair. "Sunshine, dear, I was wondering, would you like to come with me to my hometown?" "Your hometown?" "Yes. I've told my mother, your grandma, about you, and she's very eager to see you." "Where is it?" "Kansas City." "Wow, it's so far away." Serena blinked, her eyes glittering in excitement. "Are we going to drive there?" "Yes. It takes about 8 to 10 hours, but we can always take a flight. That'll take about 2 hours. "Okay," she said happily and looked to Jake. "Mr. Robinson, let's go?" "Sure." It was rare that she was so excited, so he would not turn her down. Getting a yes from her husband made her even happier. She asked Travis, "Let's celebrate New Year here then. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Shall we leave for Kansas after dinner?" "Oh, sweetie, I can't wait for that long. I have to celebrate the New Year with her. But I'll fly back day after and we can go together." "Oh." She was a bit disappointed. "You're coming back? That's not necessary. Jake can drive us there. We have the GPS. Just give me the address." She had been wanting to go on a road trip with Jake for very long now, so she was excited.
"Yes, it's more convenient this way."
Jake waved at Serena.
"Come over here."
"What for?" Although she asked that, she had already walked over. He took her into his arms.
"It's a bit cold. I need my wife to warm my hands up."
She blushed and nudged him lightly. "Stop teasing."
"For real. Feel my hands if you don't believe me."
She felt his hands and found them to be a bit cold. She put his hand into her pocket. He smiled and held her tighter. Slightly embarrassed, Travis said with a reluctant smile,
"Not a nice thing to do in front of a forever bachelor and her father." "You will get used to it,"
Jake said briefly, not feeling embarrassed at all. Serena felt quite ashamed on the other hand.
"All right then, it's a date. I will send you the address later. Now I must go find Daniel. We are going back to Kansas City together."
Serena got up with a blush. "I will walk you out."
"It's fine. Stay inside. It's cold, and the baby should not experience the cold."
Travis waved his hand and walked out with his briefcase. When Travis was gone, Jake could not help pawing at Serena. She flicked his hands away and warned in a low voice, "We are still in the living room."
"Let's go to the bedroom then."
He stood up and put her on his shoulder, walking back to the bedroom despite her complaint. With a blush, she hit his back and reminded him, "My belly!" He paused and looked sullen. He entered the bedroom, locked the door, and placed her on the bed. Kissing her on the cheeks, he gritted his teeth.
"We shouldn't have got you pregnant so early."
She chuckled and kissed him back on the lips. "Now we have to wait a few months."
2 months.
9! The baby is less than a month old.
2. I have a green light in the second trimester.
Serena bit her lip, and Jake said,
"Just 2 months to go, Mrs. Robinson."
She blushed and looked away. Holding her and planting kisses on her face and neck, he carefully avoided putting any weight on her belly. She pretended to be indifferent, but failed in less than 2 minutes. She pushed him away. "Stop that!"
"Without anything to eat? Can't I just kiss you?"
He complained sullenly.
"Mrs. Robinson, are you trying to starve me?"
She pushed his face away and sneered. "After so many years, didn't you always survive starvation?"
"When I was younger, I did not know anything. Now I know how to hunt."
Hearing that, she chuckled and flipped over. "I'm tired. Play with yourself." Jake was depressed. He was burning, while the fire extinguisher was on a strike. What a tragedy. She took off her jacket and lay down. He followed her and got underneath the blanket, holding her tight. He was being good in the beginning. While she was half asleep, she felt his hands were all over her. She quivered and hit his hand. "Behave!" Jake stopped moving. However, in a while, she felt something was stiffening behind her. "Hey, leave me alone!" She bristled and flipped over. "I am really tired." Noticing that she was upset, he said,
"You sleep tight. I will not."
Serena did not say anything. This was even worse than not doing anything. He embraced her and kissed her on the cheek.
"My bad. Don't be mad. Close your eyes."
She did not want to sleep anymore and reached down on him. He sucked in some cold air and gazed at her. She was lying with her eyes closed, while her hands were moving gently. He held her hands down. She blushed more and pretended to bristle. "Just this once."
"Yes, ma'am."